The air in the bedroom felt thick, heavy with the scent of lavender candles and something sour I couldn't place. My hands trembled as I held the crumpled receipt, its edges worn from my thumb rubbing circles over the ink. Dinner for 4, La Bella Vita, 8:47 p.m. The timestamp burned into my mind. Last Friday, when Claire told me she was working late at the gallery. I stood frozen, the hardwood cold against my bare feet, as the distant hum of her shower echoed through the house. My chest tightened, a fist squeezing my lungs. She'd lied. Again. The receipt wasn't much on its own. A small thing easy to dismiss. Maybe she'd grabbed dinner with colleagues. Maybe she'd forgotten to mention it. But the weight of it grew heavier with every memory of her late nights, her distracted smiles, the way her phone buzzed at odd hours, screen angled just out of my view. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But doubt had taken root, a weed choking out the trust we'd spent 7 years cultivating. I tucked the receipt into my pocket and sank onto the edge of our bed, the quilt soft and familiar under my palms. The room was a snapshot of us, her art books stacked haphazardly on the nightstand, my running shoes tucked under the dresser, our wedding photo framed in silver on the wall. It all felt like a lie now, the kind that unravels everything you thought you knew. The shower stopped. My pulse quickened. I could confront her now, demand answers, but the words stuck in my throat like broken glass. What if I was wrong? What if I was right? The bathroom door creaked open, and Claire stepped out, wrapped in a towel, her auburn hair dripping onto her shoulders. She smiled, soft and unguarded, and for a moment, I saw the woman I'd fallen for. The one who laughed too loud at my bad jokes, who painted my portrait in secret and cried when I proposed under a sky full of stars. Ben, you okay? Her voice was gentle, but there was a flicker in her eyes, something cautious, like she was testing the air between us. I forced a nod, my throat dry. Yeah, just tired. The lie tasted bitter, but I wasn't ready. Not yet. Over the next week, the doubt grew, a shadow creeping into every corner of my mind. Claire's late nights became more frequent, her excuses flimsier. The gallery's prepping for a new exhibit, she'd say, her eyes darting to her phone. It's chaos. I nodded, played along, but I started noticing things. Her perfume lingering on a scarf she hadn't worn in weeks, the way she'd pause before answering simple questions, like she was crafting a story. I became a detective in my own marriage, hating myself for it. I checked her phone when she slept, my fingers trembling as I scrolled through texts. Nothing obvious, no blatant confessions, no damning photos. Just vague messages from someone named Evan. Meet you at 7. Same spot. My stomach churned. I didn't know Evan. She'd never mentioned an Evan. One night, I followed her. The guilt clawed at me as I trailed her car through the city, the neon glow of streetlights reflecting off wet pavement. She parked outside a dimly lit bar, not the gallery. My heart pounded as I watched her step out, her black dress clinging to her frame, her laughter carrying as she greeted 3 men at the entrance. One of them, tall, broad-shouldered, with a grin too familiar, put a hand on her lower back. My vision blurred, anger and heartbreak twisting into a knot I couldn't untangle. I didn't go inside. I couldn't. I drove home, the city lights streaking past like tears I refused to shed. When Claire came home at midnight, smelling of wine and something musky, I pretended to be asleep. Her hand brushed my shoulder, hesitant, and I wondered if she felt the fracture between us. The truth came crashing down 2 weeks later. Claire sat me down at the kitchen table, her hands folded tightly, her face pale. The morning light filtered through the blinds, casting slanted shadows across her trembling fingers. Ben, she started, her voice barely above a whisper. I'm pregnant. The world tilted. Joy surged first, a reflex, a flicker of the life we'd dreamed of, before suspicion clawed it away. Pregnant. I echoed, my voice hollow. How when? Her eyes wouldn't meet mine. I found out yesterday. I didn't expect it. She reached for my hand, but I pulled back, the motion instinctive. Her face crumpled, and for a moment, I felt like the villain. But then I remembered the receipt, the bar, the hand on her back. Claire, I said, my voice low. Who's Evan? Her breath hitched, her eyes widening like a deer caught in headlights. What? Don't. My voice cracked, anger seeping through. I saw you. At the bar. With them. Who's Evan? Silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Her lips parted, then closed, as if she could trap the truth inside. Finally she whispered, he's a friend. From work. A friend. The word tasted like ash. You've been lying to me for weeks. Months maybe. And now you're pregnant, and you expect me to believe it's mine. Her eyes filled with tears, but they didn't sway me. Not this time. Ben, I swear it's yours. I love you. I'd never. Stop. I stood, my chair scraping against the floor. I deserve the truth, Claire. For once. She broke then, her sobs raw and jagged. I made a mistake, she choked out. It was one night. I was drunk, and I was stupid, and I'm so sorry. She reached for me again, but I stepped back, the distance between us a chasm now. But the baby, it's yours. I know it is. I wanted to believe her. Every fiber of me ached to. But the math didn't add up, and her eyes, those eyes I'd trusted for years, held a flicker of doubt that mirrored my own. I didn't leave her. Not right away. I told myself it was for the baby, that I could forgive, that we could rebuild. But every day was a battle against the images in my head. Her laughter at that bar, the stranger's hand, the lies she'd spun so easily. I started planning, quietly, meticulously. If the baby wasn't mine, I needed proof. And if it wasn't, I needed to protect myself. I suggested a paternity test, framing it as a way to ease my mind. Claire agreed, too quickly, her eagerness tinged with desperation. The weeks waiting for the results were agony. Each day a tightrope walk between hope and dread. I watched her, searching for signs, guilt, remorse, love. She was softer now, attentive, like she was trying to glue us back together. But the cracks were too deep. The results came on a Tuesday, delivered in a plain envelope that felt like a bomb in my hands. I opened it alone, in the quiet of our living room, the ticking of the clock deafening. Non-paternity confirmed. The words blurred as my vision swam. The baby wasn't mine. Claire had lied, even after her confession, clinging to a crumbling facade. I didn't confront her immediately. I let the knowledge simmer, fueling a plan that had been forming in the shadows of my mind. I contacted a lawyer, gathered evidence, texts, receipts, even a photo I'd snapped of her at the bar. I didn't want to destroy her, not really. But I needed her to feel the weight of her betrayal, to understand what she'd shattered. The night I left, I waited until she was asleep. I packed a single bag, leaving behind the life we'd built. On the kitchen table, I placed the paternity test results, the receipt from La Bella Vita, and a note. I deserved the truth. You chose to lie. Goodbye. I didn't sign it. She'd know. As I drove away, the city lights fading in my rearview mirror, I felt no triumph, no satisfaction. Just a hollow ache where love used to be. The road stretched ahead, dark and endless, and I wondered if I'd ever trust again. Or if I'd always see her shadow in every smile, every promise, every lie.